Welcome to Living Fuel TV. I'm KC Craichy with special guest John Peterson. John,
great to be here.
It's been a fun series.
It has.
John, please, if you haven't been watching, please go back and look at some of these segments because fascinating information about leading edge super fitness without using the weight room in any way. It's fascinating stuff. But John,
thank you.
Nutrition is an important part.
Huge part
of your program and of what we do and what we teach. Why is it so important to you,
Well,
John?
in various anti-aging institutes, it has been proven more and more to be the major component of all. Okay? So that's how we can keep our hormones balanced. We can maintain high testosterone levels into advanced stages. Okay?
How important is that?
Well, I think it's critically important. In fact, I feel bad for some men that are being treated with antidepressants when they should be elevating their testosterone levels and feeling better about themselves. But, you know, one thing I want to mention is that I personally believe that everybody periodically should go on a detoxifying fast. All of us, sometimes we have to eat in restaurants or what have you, okay? Bottom line is, Casey, we've seen men, many men and women all over America whose abdomens are poking out like this, you know? CD says 34% of all Americans are now obese. I think it's true. I really do. Now, when you see a man with an abdomen poking out like that, it's not just soft, unconditioned muscles that are, okay, slack muscles. That's not the deal. There's something inside of them that's being, well, it's literally in their intestines, putrefying and toxifying. From time to time, just think how great they'd feel. They'd lose a lot of weight, by the way, just by going on a fast. And I recommend a Living Fuel fast because you're giving the body every conceivable nutrient it needs. Natural, organic nutrients to detoxify. If you take Living Fuel 6 times a day, now I personally like to take 3 of the berry and 3 of the green. And from time to time I throw a scoop of the Living Fuel protein as well. The point is, when you do this, you're allowing the body to clean house. You'll actually feel energized, you'll feel younger, and you'll find yourself being able to do things that you thought you couldn't do. The one thing that I've had a couple friends that tell me that their thought impulses increase. They can think faster. Now, what have you heard?
Well, always improvement in the appearance of hair, skin, nails, digestion, elimination. I mean, that is just about everybody feeds that back to us. I mean, this is not just people on the fuel fast or the 3 meal a day or the 6 meal a day or the 2 meal a day fuel fast. These are people that take the fuel. Actually, I've seen people where their nails could never grow, their fingernails could never grow, and they start taking the fuel 1 time a day, and then they have like beautiful nails. Now, I'm not saying the fuel is miraculous. It just goes back to the point that when you give your body every known nutrient combined with all the nutrients we really haven't even identified yet through superfoods and so on, the body can do extraordinary things. Now, you talked about people with the big bellies. You know, it didn't start that way. You know, they were at some point, usually, I mean, today maybe not, but generally they have some level of fitness, and then they continue to eat the way they eat. They eat too much sugar, too much carbs, too much fried foods, and the body ends up converting this to triglycerides that are stored on the body as fat. Fat cells produce inflammatory cytokines, interleukin-6, TNF-alpha, and as you always talk about, testosterone levels are falling. There's even commercials out there about low T. You know, the enzyme aromatase, as you know, it converts any testosterone floating in the blood to estrogen. So you got men with estrogen load and low testosterone, lowering testosterone. They say it lowers over time. That could be true to some extent, but you can block this lowering of testosterone with the right nutrition and with not eating some of the things.
And so, well, it's just avoiding beer alone. I'm serious now.
I agree.
Would get rid of the aromatase that so many men are loading up on every weekend.
Well, they're finding themselves, they don't have energy levels, they don't feel like working out, they have extra body weight, and they continue that cycle, and the cravings take over, and it's a spiral that leads to death, as you know, John. So getting off that with like you're talking about, doing the Living Fuel fast for a period of time, it really is free.
Exercising with the Tiger Moves. You don't have to do extreme things.
I agree. Okay? And the Tiger Moves, as you showed me originally 5 years ago, you can do them at 50% tension, 70% tension,
And if you're at 100%
tension, you know, it's really fantastic. But the Tiger moves, to explain, as many of you have seen in my book, Super Health, this picture of John in there doing these 7 different body movement exercises using body resistance that is just fantastic in achieving levels of fitness, which they can either continue with that system or add some of the other things that we're going to show them in other segments. But it's just fascinating. But nutrition is a foundation.
Can we mention one thing, though,
Please.
quickly? And there are going to be people out there that thinking I'm bashing the food industry, but truthfully, when I was growing up, Casey, we did not see the levels of obesity we're seeing today. But high fructose corn syrup was not part of the American. It's true.
It's crazy, John.
Okay.
I mean, you know, really, people do not need to be cutting budgets on their food budget, saving money on their food budget.
No.
You know, I know some of you are having, some financial issues going on. But where you don't want to cut is your food budget. You know, John,
It's the opposite.
according to the literature, you'd be better off to skip a meal than eat a meal that most people eat.
True.
You know, that's bad.
That's bad. But I'll tell you what, you're talking about, you know, if people were to go on a Living Fuel fast, get on the Living Fuel program, the dynamic exercise, the whole thing, the 4 corners of health that you talk about, most of them, now I'm not a medical doctor, so I'm not prescribing, but most of them will be able to get off so many of the medications that they're spending money on.
Well, you know, lifestyle has been shown. It's not that what we're selling is magic, it's going to happen, but the truth is most of these people could get off of those things by changing their lifestyle.
You bet they
Change
can.
their nutrition,
Absolutely.
diet, and lifestyle. So, you know, it is pretty straightforward. You know, you bring so much to the party because, you know, so many people talk about health, but they're not healthy. You know,
Right.
and you're standing the test of time at 57, and
Well, buddy, I've been to some of the health conventions, and I've seen some of the people that are not. They're not emblems of health and fitness. They really, sometimes, you want people to be authentic. And believe me, my friend, you are. You really are.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Well, listen, we really enjoyed having you. God bless you.
God bless you, Casey. Thank you, brother.
And we just thank you for joining us, and we wish you super health.
God bless.